Oh my gosh, guys. Do I have a story to tell you? I was doing research on my next topic of choice. I've been doing some vlogging lately. I don't know if you guys have seen it. A lot of the people that follow me for my creepy and crime videos and all that kind of stuff, they're not really going to watch my vlog videos because my life is really boring. And so I totally get it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to film a crime or a creepy story because I miss doing those. I decided to film on my phone, so if the quality looks different, I am filming on my Note 10 Plus. And so I wanted to just give that a try. I love my phone and I think the camera is spectacular. But I was looking for a topic and I was looking for a topic to talk about. And for those that don't know, when you work or when you do a YouTube video, you have to research, you have to read, you have to sit there and edit for hours and hours and hours. It takes a lot of work. And sometimes you do all that work and you get like, I don't know, 12 views, and you just appreciate those 12 views and you're like, wow, 12 people wanted to watch my video. I digress. You see, I literally will get off topic like crazy. But I was searching for a topic and I was looking into it, and then I saw an article on this man named João Prestes Filhos. João Prestes Filho, sorry, which was a man in Brazil that was called the Burning Man. And I know you guys have probably heard of the Burning Man Festival. Nothing to do with that. So this story is going to be about this individual, João Prestes Filho. So I am so excited I get to like pull out my Portuguese. I am Brazilian, so this story hit home for me. When I read about it, I was like, wow, it could be like my uncle or my, grandpa or whatever. So I was really like drawn to talk about the story. I did take notes. I have my little handy dandy notepad here. So if you see me looking down, that's what the fuck I'm doing. You know, I'm being a reporter today. I know I'm about to get in trouble with YouTube for cursing, but you know what? YouTube? I don't care. So, this story, and if you hear any noises, my cats are out of control. This story takes place in March 1946, and it takes place in the small town or small village called Aracariguama, São Paulo. São Paulo is a state in Brazil. It's like mid-Atlantic. I don't want to say mid-Atlantic because that sounds like United States. I guess it's like right below it being southeastern Brazil. São Paulo is a state in southeastern Brazil, and Aracariguama is a small village. So there's like 7,000 people. Pretty small village, like small homes, not that many people, dirt roads, that kind of stuff. And João Prestes Filho was a farmer. So during this time, it's around carnival time. And for those that don't know, carnival time in Brazil is like bomb.com. Like everybody is out celebrating. There's parties, there's block parties there. There are parades, there's all kinds of stuff going on, and there's no work for a week. So like all you do is drink and party and have a good time. So João wasn't about this life. So his family went out to do this kind of stuff, like to celebrate, and he stayed home. He went fishing, went about his day, did his work that he had to do. And there weren't any neighbors around either because his home, I don't remember if it was either his home was a little bit far away from other homes or it was because they also were out celebrating. It could have been both too. But he came home and he was fixing up his dinner, whatever. For those that don't know, small villages in Brazil or small towns, we don't have AC. So my earrings keep wanting to fall off, which is why I keep touching it. They don't have AC, so you keep the windows open. Men don't wear shirts when they come home. When they're out and about, they like may not have their shirts on, which sounds really weird, but like we're so used to it. And people there wear flip-flops all the time. Like our shoe of choice is a flip-flop. So he was probably like in his shorts, no t-shirt, in his flip-flops, fixing his supper with his window open, whatever, cool. So he's doing that, and then something crazy happened. This orb, or this light, we'll call it an orb, or like a torch, kind of flew into his open window, into his kitchen. And from this orb came a bolt kind of like a bolt of lightning that struck Zhuang. No telling what this could have been, and we'll talk about what the theories are at the end of this video, which are really fucking interesting. But so it struck him, and he immediately felt like his beard singeing off, and he immediately felt like his skin was kind of crisping a little bit, but it mostly affected his upper body. So at this point in time, he's so shocked and kind of traumatized by what happened that he doesn't even notice like what happened to the orb, where it went or whatever. He puts his blanket around himself and he walks 2 miles to the nearby city, or the inner part of the village, I guess, in Araquariguama. And he walks these 2 miles and he's in shock. This man's in shock. By the time he gets to the town, guys, he's in a really bad way, in a really bad condition. There are kind of contrasting reports of what he looked like when he arrived, and I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty freaking gruesome. Okay, let me just like flip this page over here because I got some notes, All right, so he wrapped himself in a blanket. He's walking. There are accounts that he's walking and he's feeling like his feet are wet. He's stepping in mud or something, but it was actually the soles of his feet were burning and were kind of melting off, and it's just like blood. And I forgot to say this in the beginning of the video. This is a graphic video. I will put a disclaimer if I can on this video. It is graphic. It's disgusting. Like, sorry to this man, it is horrible. So he's walking, he's feeling like there's mud under his feet. It's actually his skin melting off, and he's like just walking on his like raw feet. Like I said, probably in flip-flops, probably barefoot. He's in shock. I don't know. He gets there, terrible condition, right? At this point, when they found him, his upper body was really badly burnt already. And it keeps burning. It's like he's burning from within. It's burning. João's family is notified. A lot of his family members are kept from seeing him because he's in such a bad condition. They don't want to like freak them out. But there was an individual named Virgílio Alves that was a witness to João's condition, and that's kind of how we know what he was looking like and what he was feeling like. It was said that despite his burns being so severe, I think he had 1st and 2nd degree burns, which for those that don't know are like, 1st degree burns is like the worst you can get, I think. It just means that your body just disintegrates. Like there's nothing that could be saved on your skin or on your body. So Virgílio was the one that witnessed João's condition and was able to kind of recount and retell what was going on. And you got to think about how hard this is in a small town, in a small village. For those that don't know, hospitals and clinics in other countries that are not the US, that are like third world countries, which Brazil is a third world country, despite its many technological advances, despite what we can do during like World Cups and during all this stuff, our hospitals are very bare bones. I remember when I spent some time in the hospital when I had dengue fever on a trip to Brazil. And this is just like completely side story here. It's not like it is here where you go to the hospital and there's like nice comfy beds and AC and food and blah, blah, blah. No, you sit out in the hallway on a chair, sometimes on the floor, waiting for attention, waiting for medical attention that sometimes doesn't come in time. People die in the hallways. People die from a lack of medical attention all the time. There aren't enough nurses. There aren't enough doctors. There aren't enough resources. I'm getting so passionate about it because it's such a sad situation. So this man was actually transferred to Santana de Parnaíba, which is the closest town that had a hospital so he could be treated, right? This poor man. So he is over here completely crisped up from the waist up, like skin falling off. I think he lost his ears, his nose, his lips, his eyelids. Everything was melting off. It was said that he was able to speak, but he couldn't really speak because the ligaments on his jaws were melting and his tongue was swollen and probably melting as well. So it was very gruesome, very, very gruesome. And as badly as he was burned, like I said, first and second degree burns, as badly as he was burned back to this, he was in no physical pain. He was actually not in pain, which is, I guess, a blessing in disguise. It's a blessing in and of itself, because first, second degree burns, third degree burns, when you burn yourself with like your curling iron or like on the stove, that is hurts. Like, I don't know about y'all, but burns hurt so bad. And for this man to be in so much severe burning state, and so much of a severe burned state, and to not have pain, was actually a little miracle in and of itself. However, the mystery remains. It's still a really weird case. So he lost all his flesh. His hands were kind of twisted and kind of roasted, and they were just like claws, because they had just, when you burn up, for those that don't know, when you burn up, your muscles kind of contract. That's why when they find bodies in a fire, after a fire, the person's usually curled up, because your muscles in your body, your skeletal system contracts, right? So his hands kind of contracted, and they were all clawed up and crazy and burnt. And he ended up unfortunately dying of cardiac arrest because of his burns. Wow, this earring right now. He died of cardiac arrest because of his burns. So he suffered a heart attack and died. Okay. And the crazy part is that we have no explanation for what this was. And this is where we get to the theories of what this could have possibly been. Okay. Some of the theories include that it was a UFO. There are a lot of UFO encounters in Brazil. We have a lot of stories. I have stories from like my uncles and my family in Brazil that live in these kind of small villages where they've seen flying discs and lights, and things get picked up, unexplainable situations. And I can go through those stories later. If you guys are interested, let me know in the comments below. However, UFO, it could have been a UFO. It was said that the burns that he experienced were like nuclear burns. So he was burning from the inside out. It was not consistent with the burns of a fire, which is why people started to think it was UFOs, that it was a supernatural situation. We have this folklore in Brazil called the boitatá. And the boitatá is a word in Tupi, which is the native Brazilians language. So the Native Americans, Native Brazilians language is Tupi, and it means fire serpent. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's literally a serpent made of fire. And the boitatá, I can't remember if it's the same folklore, but I believe it has a bull's head coming out of its mouth. And it's very creepy. The folklore in Brazil is out of control. I will do a separate video on that, as well as folklore videos on other countries. I'm so interested in that, but the Brazilian ones, close to my heart, that's my people. So people think that it might have been the boitatá, or it was something kind of like will-o'-the-wisp, or something like a demonic possession or something of that nature. But whatever it was, this was such a strange and unusual situation, guys. Like, I can't imagine having a loved one die from something that makes no sense. A ball of light comes into your kitchen and burns you, and you're just like completely burned alive, but only from the waist up. Like, his legs were fine. I guess his feet from the walking added to the situation, but no, there's no guarantee that part of the story was true, that his feet were melting like that, but something we take into consideration, right? But it's just a strange and unusual story. I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys think it was a UFO? Do you guys think it was the boitatá? Do you guys think it was a nuclear blast, a nuclear situation of some sort? Maybe it was explained by science, but since it was 1946, they didn't have a lot to go on. It's a small town, it's a small village. Maybe they don't have the right information to be able to tell people like what it actually is. Or do you guys think it was supernatural? I mean, let me know in the comments below. If you enjoy this video, please subscribe. I will try to do more videos. I will try to do more crime videos, scary stories, paranormal stuff, on this channel. So please follow me and give me a like. That really helps me out. So I hope you guys enjoyed and you have a wonderful day. I love you guys so much. Bye.